Tennessee was back at it this weekend on the practice field. They held a spring scrimmage and pro day, which brought out top recruits. So once again, Tennessee was the place to be for a big recruiting weekend. It brought out the #1 offensive tackle in America, Brandon Baker out of California. And this is what he had to say to VolQuest afterward. I would say Tennessee is a school that I definitely am looking forward to getting back to. I'm kind of in the process at the end of April to breaking down my list to a top 10. So it sounds safe to say Tennessee is going to make that list for #1 offensive tackle Brandon Baker. Now I want to bring on national recruiting analyst Sam Spiegelman to talk about the next recruit. They had another #1 on campus, Sam. #1 defensive lineman Williams Nwaneri made his Tennessee. Now the RPM is trending heavily to Oklahoma. So what is the pull to the Midwest, and does anyone have a shot of pulling him from that area of the country?
I think you're talking about the team right now. This is Nwaneri's second visit to Tennessee this spring. He was there in January. He's been back now to start with April. And Tennessee is already in a really good spot to get an official visit. Right now, I think the school that's giving Nwaneri the biggest run is Oklahoma. He's been there more than any other campus in the country so far. And we know that Oklahoma has a defensive-minded head coach and Brent Venables and a staff that's full of D-line and front seven-oriented coaches that's gotten Nwaneri's attention. But Tennessee is making a run, and you see who they have on campus. They have a lot of under Josh Heupel. They've been recruiting #1s a lot, #1 quarterbacks, #1 D linemen, #1 offensive tackles. That's kind of the trend under Josh Heupel and Tennessee's resurgence in the SEC. And the way they've been recruiting Nwaneri, they're also recruiting his good friend, his tight end, Jaden Riddell, the #1 tight end in the country they had on campus. I think that the way that they're recruiting with these elite players after a resurgent year, I think that in the coaching staff and with Tim Banks as Tennessee's defensive coordinator, a really good job of recruiting. And I think Nwaneri is heading toward a Tennessee-Oklahoma battle at this point in the cycle.
All right, we'll see how that plays out. But right now, I need you guys to do me a favor. Tennessee fans, go ahead and like and subscribe to the On3 YouTube page. We got you guys covered throughout the spring with all these exciting recruiting developments. My man JD Pickell has the latest college football news. So go ahead, Tennessee fans, right now, hit that subscribe button for me. All right, some more big news to cover. Chad Simmons put in a prediction for 4-star athlete Boo Carter to Tennessee. He's a really exciting athlete out of Chattanooga, 6 foot 180. Tennessee now running away with it on the RPM, Sam, with 95%. But tell me, Ole Miss is still after him. You got Ohio State, Oregon. Is it too late, or do you think Tennessee has this one wrapped up for Boo Carter?
I don't think it's wrapped up, but I tend to agree with Chad. I also followed him with an RPM for Tennessee, and the fact is, Boo Carter was in Knoxville again over the weekend. That's the in-state team, and they are recruiting Boo hardest. They like him on the defensive side of the ball. We just talked about Tim Banks, their defensive coordinator, also works with the defensive backs, and I think that is a major thing to watch with Boo Carter. But Tennessee will get an official visit. So will Michigan, Ohio State, Colorado, Oregon, all also trending for official visits from Boo Carter, but he's a Tennessee kid. Yeah, there's a lot of pull from those Pac-12 and Big Ten teams, but Tennessee coming hardest, had him on campus, had a lot of positive reviews of the Tennessee practices and the way that they're recruiting him, feeling like a priority. I'm with Chad. I think Tennessee is the team to beat. Still a little bit of ways to go for Boo as he continues to navigate through these visits.
You've been watching Boo Carter on the 7-on-7 circuit. What makes him so special?
He really is so special, and first and foremost, he plays on both sides of the ball, which, in 7-on-7, it can get a little bit mundane and a little bit redundant. When you see a playmaker on offense and defense, on a given weekend on both sides of the ball, it definitely captures your attention. I find him to be very smooth on offense. He catches everything thrown to him, a lot of contested catches in the middle, but he can jump and win on 50-50 balls. And defensively, I mean, he's had an interception every single tournament I've seen him playing defense. So whether that's spot duty or if he moves there full time, he's got a nose for the football, which if you're playing safety and you're versatile like Boo Carter, I think that's a great trait to be having.
All right, now let's switch over to the defensive back side of the ball. 4-star safety Travaris Banks was on campus. He's out of Alabama. Tennessee is really recruiting a lot of defensive backs. We talked about 4-star Aaron Scott out of Ohio. But this weekend, it was Banks that was on campus. Do you think Tennessee did enough on this visit?
Yeah, to me, Travaris Banks, we know that Florida State is a contender for him, and now we know that Tennessee is another contender. He said that Tennessee is very likely to get an official visit again, and he's going to make his decision here on June 18th.
Yeah.
He's going to see Florida. He's going to see Ole Miss. He just got to see Oklahoma and Mississippi State for the first times, but he's been steadily visiting Florida State and steadily been recruited by Tennessee. He had dinner at Josh Heupel's house. Got a lot of positive reviews from the coaches and also the current Vols on the roster about Tim Banks' coaching style. I think this is becoming a two-team race with FSU and Tennessee. And again, we talked about it. Tennessee is recruiting at a very high level. There's another on 300 safety that they're recruiting to their secondary, along with another on 300 athlete like Boo Carter. The way that they're recruiting, it just shows that Tennessee is on a different stratosphere right now with the guys that they're recruiting, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, we were waiting for Tennessee recruiting to heat up, but I think with the commitment of Jake Merklinger last Thursday, Tennessee's got it rolling. They got a top 10 class now, and it's only just starting. Always like talking Tennessee recruiting with you. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button for me, and remember to check out all the videos on the On3 YouTube page.